Join our celebration of Black History Month. Only on New Thought Media Network. New videos every day at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, or watch anytime on our YouTube channel. 28 unique Black History moments. Every day in February. Only on New Thought Media Network.
Peace and blessings, New Thought Media Network fans. I'm Reverend Dr. Charlette, and I'm so happy to be with you this morning to give you your Black History moment. And as you can see, I'm wearing my NAACP DC branch t-shirt. I am the vice president of the NAACP in the Washington, DC area. And this morning, I want to honor Ida B Wells, one of the founding members of the NAACP, founded in 1909. Ida B Wells-Barnett was a prominent journalist, activist, and researcher in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. In her lifetime, she battled sexism, racism, and violence. As a skilled writer, Wells-Barnett also used her skills as a journalist to shed light on the conditions of Blacks, Negroes, or colored people, as we were called in those days, throughout the South. Ida B. Wells was born in Holly Springs, Mississippi, on July 16, 1862. She was born into slavery during the Civil War. Once the war ended, Ida B. Wells' parents became politically active in the Reconstruction era of politics. Her parents instilled into her the importance of education. Ida enrolled at Rust College, but was expelled when she started a dispute with the university president. In 1878, Wells went to visit her grandmother. While she was there, Ida was informed that a yellow fever epidemic had hit her hometown. The disease took both Wells' parents and her infant brother. Left to raise her brothers and sisters, she took a job as a teacher so that she could keep her family together. Eventually, Ida moved her siblings to Memphis, Tennessee. There she continued to work as an educator. In 1884, Ida filed a lawsuit against a train car company in Memphis for unfair treatment. She had been thrown off a first-class train despite having a ticket. Although she won the case on the local level, the ruling was eventually overturned in federal court. After the lynching of one of her friends, Wells turned her attention to white mob violence. In 1893, Wells joined other African American leaders in calling for a boycott on the World's Columbian Exposition. The boycotters accused the Exposition Committee of locking out African Americans and negatively portraying them in the Black community. In 1895, Wells married famed Negro lawyer Ferdinand Barrett. Together, the couple had 4 children. Throughout her career, Wells balanced motherhood with her activism. Not only was Wells a well-traveled, internationally traveled, she shedded light on the lynching to foreign audiences. She talked about how lynching was so prevalent in the South and across America. Abroad, she openly confronted white women in the suffragette movement who ignored lynchings. Because of her stance, she was often ridiculed and ostracized by the women's suffrage organizations in the United States. Nonetheless, Ida remained active in the women's movement. She was the founding member of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, which was created to address issues during the civil rights and women's suffrage. Although she lived in Niagara Falls, Ida was very, very active in laying the foreground and the groundwork of the National Association's Charter on Civil Rights and Women's Rights. As we know, or maybe you don't know, it has been over 100 years since the lynching law was finally passed in Congress to a vote of, I believe it was 410 to 4. And the bill began, it was initiated in 1922 by a white Republican, but it was not passed until 100 years later. Lynching is still very prominent in this country, even though it's not used with a rope and a neck. Violence against young Black men in this country continues to escalate. So the work that Ida B Wells did, and we continue to do for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, draws attention to my shero, Ida B Wells. And I would like to offer this prayer for us. And it's a prayer that unity churches and religious science churches and New Thought churches use across this country. And it's what we call our peace song. And it says, "Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. As God, as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony." So I surrender this prayer to all of those that are listening, and that remind you that there is only one power and one presence in the universe. And whether you call him God or Krishna, Buddha, Allah, Jehovah, or Yahweh, that power that created you is the same power that created me. So I wish you all the best this Black History moment. Namaste.